Welcome back to Play Jazz Sax. I'm Julian Brazan, and today we are getting right into it with a really exciting technique for turning boring half-note lines into classic jazz patterns. Think Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Sonny Stitt. I think this technique will work for anyone, and if something is unclear, leave a comment below and I will get back to you. Now, the great thing about practicing half-note lines over chord progressions is that we have time to think about our voice leading and target notes without getting distracted by technique or speed. But what I'm also going to show you is that a lot of patterns are really just half-note voice leading with extra notes in between. If you can nail the voice leading with half notes, your patterns will also sound great. So in this example, we're playing over a 2-5-1 pattern in C major. So we're going to use C major as our parent scale for the whole thing. That applies to the half note line as well as the pattern construction. In this case, I chose the second and third scale degrees on the minor chord, the root and second scale degree on the dominant chord, and then my target note on the major chord is the seventh. I love the sound of this resolution. It's a very bright, nice major sound with a little bit of tension. Now, this pattern I found in a Coltrane solo, but it's so simply constructed and foundational to Western music that I bet you could find this in some of Bach's music as well. All we do to construct this pattern is go down a half step to our lower chromatic neighbor. That just means it's always a half step, no matter what scale we're using. And then we're going to repeat the starting note and then go up a third, which is just 2 notes up our parent scale. So in this case, we're going down from E to D sharp, then we repeat our E, and then we go up to G natural. That's a third up in the C major scale from E. Now, once you understand which scales work over each chord and practice getting these patterns under your fingers, you can basically go on autopilot between the target notes. Since a lot of people get really confused about what notes to play over minor 2/5s, I'm going to give you another example that will cover about 80% of all the chord progressions in our American songbook standards. Major 2/5s and minor 2/5s are kind of the building blocks of all these chord progressions. Once again, if any of that was confusing, please head straight to the comment section and ask whatever you'd like. If you'd like more of this kind of lesson, you can head over to playjazzsax.com. I have a custom free practice log and practice guide that I put together for you guys to help make sure that you're hitting all the important areas in every practice session. Now, I have many critiques of chord scale theory as a way to learn to improvise, but in examining how so many great improvisers use patterns, there are some chord scale relationships that definitely show up much more frequently than others. Just know that that's not the be-all, end-all way to learn this music. What that would be is listening to the music a lot and learning solos by ear. All this theory stuff is just a good starting point, which will help you recognize patterns sooner in the learning process and hopefully absorb some jazz language faster. Some people just do a little better if they have a system. So in looking at this minor 2/5-1 progression, I decided to use a stair-step kind of line, which resolves to the 5 of our 1 chord. Some very traditional but great sounding scale choices over these chords are the Locrian over the minor 7-flat-5, aka half diminished, which is the natural minor of whatever key we're in. So in this case, G natural minor. That's the same key signature as B flat major. They share the same 7 notes. Over our dominant chord, that scale could work, but we really want that F sharp in there. So our third is F sharp. We slide that F that was in G natural minor up to make it G harmonic minor. And if we start on D, that scale is actually called Phrygian dominant. But the modal jargon can be really distracting for beginners. So to just think of this all as G minor, G natural minor, G harmonic minor, and then whatever you want, but I like to use G melodic minor as sort of my go-to starting point in a minor key. For this pattern, I'll go up a third, then down 2 steps, bringing us back to where we started. That's okay, because we already know that that note will voice lead nicely into the next one because we chose that really nice half note line ourselves. That gives us this line. It's a nice pattern with a good shape and tension and release that works well. If you like this lesson, check out playjazzsax.com for upcoming masterclasses, private coaching, and complete courses covering how to learn tunes, which tunes to learn, how to approach learning jazz language, tone, technique, rhythmic conception, and more. If you join our mailing list, I will keep you updated respectfully with no unnecessary spam, just great lessons and practice material in your inbox. You can also join our forum at reddit.com/r/playjazzsax to discuss these lessons with other students. Have a great practice session, stay cool, and enjoy the music.